What's up, guys? It's me again, the me you don't know, but that shouldn't matter for you to enjoy a good story. So let's get on with the show now, shall we? So we'll continue our story off with a late Sunday evening. It's around midnight as you see Deku with his sisters and his, well, their adoptive mother. They as they arrive at their new establishment. As they go in and explore the buildings, see the decorations, how the servants set them up, almost exactly the same as their old house, just a different location. As as Deku gone up to his room, he sees how big it is. It's a huge bed. As he throws down the bag he had, he just tossed it to a random corner, and he head into the bathroom. As each room has like their own private bathroom. So like he went and took care of his business, and when he came out though, his sisters was sitting on his bed, and Deku was wondering, like, what's going on? Are you guys okay? And they're all like, well, our rooms were kind of too big to sleep in, so we thought we'd share a room, yes? And Deku's so like, hmm? Oh, okay. Well, tomorrow we're sleeping in your bed, okay? And they're all like, oh, that's fine. So like, they pretty much like swap rooms every other day, pretty much. They like what's the word, dog pal? Yeah, because they like to sleep in their wolf forms because it's more comfortable that way. And they sleep in a dog pal. Yeah, just snuggled up right next to each other, pretty much. They did that in their old house too, but they shared a room and they never really felt like they needed separate rooms. But since they moved and they're slightly grown now, more grown than they were, the servants figured they'd want their own rooms now. But they, it is what it is. I don't know why I even explain this. It's like not important at all. So, so just wanted to show you how close these guys were, as they're a big happy family. I haven't spoken much about Ava at all either. Oh, we'll get to her story soon because the council has been looking for her. Because she did pretty much just dip on them, you know. And, well, we'll get to that in another part. Maybe not, but, you know. Let's. Cause I'm focusing on Deku and not them, okay? Well, I'm focusing on these three, okay? Not Ava, really. But she has her own little, like, story I could tell, but getting off track here. Let's continue. Um, so the next morning, they all get get up really early, and his sisters was up before Deku was, as they were already dressed by the time he had woke up, as they're rushing him to get ready for reasons unknown, as Deku is telling them like, what's the rush? We got a whole couple hours left before school even starts. Why we gotta go so early and everything. As let's see if I could. It's like 6 in the morning. Yeah, as school don't start till like 8 or 9. I don't know. But anyway, so like they're up pretty early, and they're rushing Deku to get ready. 'Cause I guess these two are just early birds. They're morning people, and Deku's not, I guess. So, so carrying on. They got Deku to get up and get ready, and rushed him out the door before they could really get anything to eat, really. But, as they're walking out the door, and they say their goodbyes to the servants and to their mother and everyone, as Deku's all like, why don't we call a car or something? What's going on? As they just continue to push Deku out the door pretty much. As Deku's wondering like, how are we getting there? Where do we even go? Is there like, well, the cars are too slow, and I'd rather feel the wind on our face. As they pretty much just hop on his shoulders, and Deku's all like, wait, what? Is honestly, Deku's kind of a pushover, but only to his sisters, because he loves them so much. So, confused as he is, he just lets it happen. He caves in, and he gives them a ride on his shoulders. As he's pretty quick, but he didn't exactly know where to go, so it took them a minute to get to where they needed to go. And sorry, but eventually they would have gotten there, and say like an hour before school actually like started. So they're there. They I guess I should explain. They talked about needing to go to the principal office to sign some papers and stuff, get their schedules and lockers and stuff like that. Normal school stuff. As Izuki and Izumi were just excited to go to this new fancy school, pretty much. So they pretty much just wanted to get there as soon as possible, ASAP, you know. So they got there, right? They meet the principal, and in the last part, I told y'all who that was. It's her, Momo's mother. Yes. I believe that's what I said, right? Or did I say assistant principal? I don't even remember. Or did I just say she was one of the teachers? See, I'm gonna have to. No, I don't wanna. Anyways, let's continue. Let's just say I said principal, right? Yeah, I believe I said principal. Well, anyways, they talked to Momo's mother, Mrs. Yayorozu, and just long story short, um, they get assigned their classrooms and crap. They all happen to be in the same classroom because of, well, I don't really know, plot. I guess not much is gonna happen though. Yeah, but you know they're gonna be separated kinda. Cause I mean, how many schools do you know that have three empty seats right next to each other? Let me know. um. Anyways, they're they got split up. I guess you could say, kinda, but kinda not really. As okay, let me start over. Okay, so these guys enter. Okay, stumbling. Okay, take number three. Let's see. So after a while, school would eventually start, right? Students would appear and be in the classrooms, right? And let's just say these guys were in the principal office for a good long while, to the point where school started while they were still speaking with the principal. So about 10 minutes in, the principal would, Miss Yayu Rose, who would walk them to the class they would be first period, or no, it'd be homeroom, right? Yeah, homeroom. So so she would walk them to their classroom, and um before they enter, the principal would enter the room and talk to the teacher and let them know they have. Uh, sorry for the pause. Where was I? Any, anyway, so principal talked to a teacher about there being three new students, and they're right out in the hallway, and principal gives the teacher a couple of papers and tell tell them what they're you know I don't really know what kind of stuff be going on with kind of crap. You know, let's carry on. Like a 2 minute time skip. Principal done explaining things and left. So teacher lets these three students in the class and tells them to introduce themselves. As they do, you know, Izumi is all happy and whatnot, you know, very cheerful. And you know, Izuki's kind of shy. She didn't really say not much. So Izumi pretty much introduced all three of them to the class. Then go like, "Hi, I'm Izumi. This is Izuki and Izuku." Nice to meet you all. Hope we can be friends. And kind of just like all over the place. Is um, is Deku would just do a slight bow and be like, "As my sister said, I'm Izuku. Nice to meet you. Yeah, that's it." Because Deku is going to be kind of antisocial, and he'll just stick with his sisters pretty much. And um, after a little bit, the teacher would um, point out three seats. There's two right next to each other, and one a bit far away, like in the back of the room. As Deku would just go sit in the back, and Izuki and Izumi were like playing rock paper scissors while Izuku just went and sat in the back. As when they did, when he did, um, his sisters kind of just stopped what they were doing and just looked at him, and Deku was all like, "What?" As they're all like, "We'll talk about this later," but okay. So like, well, they'll talk about it later, but I won't explain it later, so I'll explain it now. They were playing rock, paper, scissors to see who would sit next to Deku, pretty much. Because they love their older brother and whatnot, and they expected that he'd want to sit next to them. But, you know, just a small bit of whatever. There is someone I have to introduce to you all, and the name I have forgotten already. No, I ain't forget it. I never had a name for them. Let's see if I could come up with one right quick. Give me a minute. Okay, I think I've come up with a decent name. Didn't even think about a last name though. But it's okay. So so this person I have to introduce is this person Deku ends up sitting right beside. As this person, or rather her, this chick right here, Deku happens to sit beside. Um, Deku introduces himself to her and is all like, "Hello, I'm Izuku, and you are?" And she would just quietly say that her name is Mika. Yeah, Mika. Yeah, I just came up with that. I changed the name from what I previously just thought of and made a completely different name. Like, mm, no, I can use that. Mika Alice. Yeah, it works. Mika Alice. Yeah, because I was gonna just say her name was Alice, but since I just came up with the name Mika, Mika Alice, it works. Now, don't you guys forget it, because I'm going to forget it. So you guys got to remind me what her name is in the future. Alright? Anyways, nothing. really happens, and in that during that day, and surprising no one, um, Momo isn't in that their class, so they haven't exactly met. So sorry for the silent pause there. Let's continue on with our story. So I want to get through this boring bit so I can get to some interesting action and whatnot. So, mm, so end of the day rolls by, and Deku and Alice hasn't really spoken much because she's kind of shy, So she's not as outspoken, but Deku could feel that she's been staring at him, like literally, and every time he would look at her, she'd just look away or pretend like she's doing something else. It's been happening throughout the day. He just catch her staring, and when he looked at her, she'd look away. And they haven't really spoken after their little introduction at the beginning of the day. So, but anyways, after school, they eventually get home, and at this time they decide to walk home, and yeah, nothing really happens, but they meet Momo like right outside her gate, like they're walking past her house, and that's when she's like driving into her estate, pretty much. And Momo would get out the car and introduce herself to them, and yada yada yada. Anyways, I'm gonna do a bit of a time skip. About a month. Yeah, with, within that month, um, they gotten a bit closer to Momo and whatnot, and I guess they can be called friends. Deku, he's been trying to avoid her pretty much. So yeah, he figured to just let his sisters have a friend around their age, someone they could hang out with when he's not around. So he's been like giving them their space pretty much. So oftentimes he would be alone, and yeah, when he's alone, these people try to pick on him, but it don't really work out well for them. And I don't mean any of the students at the school. I mean like, cause here, let me try to explain this. They walk home most of the time, right? And sometimes Momo would walk with them. But when Momo walks with them, Deku would end up disappearing from the group. And these people, just random thugs, think that they could pick on Deku because He's wearing this uniform, and it's pretty much a school for rich, nerdy people. Not really people with strong quirks that could defend themselves. So let's say these thugs have been picking on a lot of students from the school, trying to rob them, I guess. But this time they picked the wrong target, as these guys just walked up to Deku, and they first started to act all buddy buddy with him, with the hand or the arm around the person's shoulder and neck. Is and other guy comes up with the hand on the shoulder, and they just start like laughing as they just uh, walk him into an alleyway. As Deku wasn't really paying attention to who these people were or what they were laughing about. He'd figure that these people that he knows these kind of people, but he'd rather not make a scene in front of uh, so many people. So he um he decided to just go with them pretty much. As these guys were kinda surprised that Deku was willingly going with them to an alleyway, knowing that he knows what's going to happen. Is they think this guy is just a complete pushover. Like they won't even have to hurt him or nothing. As if they could. But and, so once they got deep into the alleyway, Deku pretty much just put them in their place. He put them down pretty quickly, as they weren't much of a threat. They weren't much of a fight. But there were more than just those two guys. There was already people in the alleyway waiting for them. And so Deku ended up having to fight about five more people. It wasn't too hard for Deku to handle, as he has strength of a wolf. How long am I gonna edit there? and and let's just say, yeah, let's go back to this picture. She was actually following Deku, and she witnessed Deku just completely obliterating these people. As she pretty much got stars in her eyes right now, as she's just watching in amazement of how Deku is easily taking these guys on, and like, yeah. So let's say she broke out of her what's the word? Uh, she's not being as shy anymore at the moment, as she pretty much runs up to Deku and shakes his hand pretty aggressively quite a few times, as she starts sputtering nonsense that Deku couldn't understand, because she was just so happy and excited, as if she couldn't like control herself pretty much. She had to talk to Deku, like, because she wanted to. Now she has an excuse to. But leaving Deku kind of shocked that she wasn't phased by what he just did, but instead she was amazed. Like, you know. But so yeah, just glossing over this little event that happened. Going to skip to you know what? Never mind. I'm going to end it here. So, like if you like, subscribe if you want, and comment down below if you enjoyed or not. Um, the the next part, or maybe the part after the next part, it'll be pretty interesting. I have something planned for senior year of their what is that, junior high? Yeah. So, bye. I don't. Yeah. What's her name again?